As part of the investment seminar designed to create awareness in the stockbroking community on the exchange-traded fund, the leadership of Lotus Capital and Vetiva Fund managers performed the closing bell ringing ceremony in the bourse.
Good afternoon, dealing members. Today we are pleased to welcome our facilitators. We've just finished a very interesting investment management seminar in our event room on the 20th floor. Some of you were there, and others from your houses. We had a number of stockbroking firms represented. So I will just introduce some of the facilitators here. To my left is Mrs Hajara Adeola, who is the CEO of Lotus Capital. Please let's welcome her. And on my right is Damilola Ajayi, the MD of Vetiva Fund Managers Limited. And to his right, we are pleased to have also a representative from SEC today, who also attended, Mrs Hajara Adeola MD. To the right of Mr. Ajayi. And of course, we have my colleagues, the head of project management and of product development.
It was an opportunity for the Managing Director of Vetiva Fund Managers, Mr Damilola Ajayi, and Managing Director of Lotus Capital, Mrs Hajara Adeola, to give further insight on the exchange-traded fund product development.
We all know, as we spoke at the seminar, that our market is changing, and it's important for each and every one of us to stay abreast of new involvements in the market so that we can serve our clients better. And I know all brokers think about commissions, and that question came up this morning, that how do ETFs benefit brokers? It's just a new, an additional security that you can sell to your clients. And also it gives you the opportunity to offer to your clients a portfolio in one security. So your support, as always, is very commendable. Without the brokers here, there will be no market. So we would like to really, appreciate everyone for what you have done. The ETF community, or the ETF industry, started in 2011 with the new gold ETF. And then earlier this year, we had the listing of the Vetiva 30 ETF. We have other ETFs coming, and you're going to hear a bit about that just before we do the closing bell ringing. For me, I'm very excited about what is happening in our markets. ETFs have come to stay, and it is the beginning of great things in this market. And it's also an opportunity to say thank you to the Nigerian Stock Exchange. At the beginning, when this management came in, what we were told was that we will have one new product in the market for every 5 years, starting with ETFs. And not only have ETFs started, we've seen ETFs gaining traction in our market, and that's because of the commitment and the hard work also of those at the Nigerian Stock Exchange. So once again, I say thank you very much, and thank you for your support earlier today.
I'd like to join my colleagues in thanking the Nigerian Stock Exchange for giving us the opportunity to share the beta strategies and the tools that ETFs represent to the broker community and to the investment community. And I also like to thank my colleagues from Vetiva and APSA, who along with Lotus were facilitating, and the Stock Exchange, Securities and Exchange Commission, who were the facilitators of the presentation. Nigeria is joining the first world with the introduction of ETFs. We have two, and I'm delighted to announce that as of tomorrow, 15th of August, Lotus Capital is launching the Lotus Halal Equity ETF, which will track the performance of the NSE Lotus Islamic Index. So as my colleague has said, we count on the support of the broker community. It's an opportunity to add a themed investment to your clients, a portfolio in one security. And of course, the ETFs will be traded through brokers. So it's your instrument. Thank you once again, and happy trading.
Hajara Adeola, Managing Director of Lotus Capital, speaks further on the ETF. Congratulations on the seminar you just organized. Tell us a bit about the ETF, and you said it's going to place Nigeria in the first world market. How is that going to change the market in Nigeria?
Yeah, ETFs are the fastest growing financial instruments in the world. We have about $1.5 trillion globally worth of ETFs in assets under management. So with the evolution of ETFs, tomorrow we'll have 3 ETFs in the Nigerian market: the new gold ETF, the Vetiva 30, and then tomorrow the Lotus Halal Equity ETF. So by creating these new instruments that are increasing the breadth and the depth of the market, we're bringing the Nigerian market to the first world.
Now, in terms of the regulation, would you say regulators understand the product to regulate it effectively, like we see in the US or UK and other markets?
Absolutely. I'm aware of when the Securities and Exchange Commission first exposed the draft rules for ETF several years ago. It's been a long progression. They're very, very conversant with the rules and the framework, and it's an instrument that is extremely transparent, very well structured, very well regulated, and quite safe from an investor protection point of view.
You told the brokers that it is like a one portfolio security as an added security. Tell us a bit about it, because retail investors in Nigeria would like to know the value it brings.
The reason I said it's a one portfolio security, or it's a portfolio in one security, is that ETFs track the performance of an index. And the 2 equity ETFs that have been launched in Nigeria, or will be launched in Nigeria by tomorrow, are tracking underlying indices, the NSE 30, and in the Lotus case, the NSE LII. So the ETF buys each of the stocks in the underlying index in exactly the same proportions that they exist in the index, but it's in one security. So by buying the Lotus Halal Equity ETF, for example, you're buying 15 securities. If you bought the Vetiva 30, you're buying the 30 stocks in the NSE 30. So by buying one security, which trades on the stock exchange like a stock through a broker, you're actually getting exposure to a broad market in one stock.
With the opening of a 3rd exchange-traded fund, it is expected that activities in the Nigerian stock market will gain traction.